What's going on, everybody? It's Barmine from Barmine Tech, and today we're going to be setting up our own cloud-hosted storage for backing up our pictures from your phone, your tablet, whatever it might be. I'm using it to back up the pictures from my iPhone. I recently got a new phone, and to try to ease some of the backup and transferring my pictures over, I'm using Immich to do so. I do pay for iCloud storage, and I'm looking for another option just so I have a second backup in case iCloud ever fails. I highly doubt that it will. It is a super reliable service, but if I can move some of the services into my own management and have it locally at my house, I would like that a lot more. So that's why today we're going to be working with Immich. It's something we have worked in the past. Today we're going to be setting it up on Proxmox as an LXC container using a helper script and go through some of the features of Immich and some of the simple setup. It's a very simple app to use. Like I was mentioning, they have apps for your phone and it's available in the App Store. It runs and it backs up your pictures really nicely, and it has some more features that we'll talk about today. Before we get into the video, I just want to get a quick word from today's sponsor, Brilliant. Have you been looking to learn something new and you don't know where to start, or you want to learn something new and you don't want to sit in hours of lectures and courses? Well, that's where Brilliant.org comes into play. Brilliant.org is an online course that helps you excel in math and computer science with visuals, interactive problem solving, and personalized practice. Brilliant personalizes learning for you. It starts you at the right level based on your background, designs practice sets and reviews personalized for you, and helps you advance at your ideal pace. Brilliant is handcrafted by an award-winning team of teachers, researchers, and professionals from MIT, Harvard, Stanford, Caltech, Google, and more. One of my favorite features of Brilliant is the app, as it makes learning easy on the go, and I can do it from anywhere right off my phone. Go to brilliant.org/barminetech, scan the QR code on screen, or click the link in the description. Brilliant's also given our viewers 20% off an annual premium subscription, which gives you unlimited daily access to everything on Brilliant. I want to thank brilliant.org for sponsoring today's video, and go check out the link in the description so you can go learn on brilliant.org as well. Again, I want to thank Brilliant for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get over to setting up Immich. Today we're going to be working on the Barmine Tech server, and you can see I have a ton of containers and VMs on here, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of cleanup soon. But if we come over here to the Proxmox helper script site, if I come to view scripts, and if we come over to the media and streaming category, here will be Immich. We have a link to their website, and you can come through, and this is what Immich is going to look like. This is the dashboard. This is what the app will look like. I do have it on my phone as well, and it's a really nice app. It works really nicely, and I've been working on backing up all of my pictures, videos, and my Snapchat memories, because I seem to be a gig over 5 gigs of Snapchat memories. So this is what really I'm using Immich for right now. You can see they have a roadmap of their projections for the project and what they're trying to accomplish. It looks like they do have some Immich merch if you're interested in checking it out and supporting the project. Of course, they have their docs, so if you're interested in installation process or anything else, you can find some more info in here. It's going to be a little bit different because we are setting it up as a Proxmox helper script. It will still work just as fine, and it is updatable as specified over here currently from the helper scripts. If you do run into any issues with helper script, I would suggest going into the helper script Discord or opening up a ticket on their GitHub repo, as they're going to be able to best help you with any support on the actual script itself. But that's really the rough idea of Immich. I'm going to come over here and just copy the script over here. I'm going to come back over to my Proxmox server. I'm going to open up a shell to my server. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and then we're just going to come over here and paste in that script. I'm going to run it. If we come back over to the Immich on the helper script, if we look at the default specs they give it, so it gives it 4 cores of CPU, 4 gigs of memory, and 20 gigs of RAM. I'm okay with all of these except the 20 gigs of memory. You're definitely going to need to bump that up if you do plan on really uploading some pictures and backing up your media to this. 20 gigs sounds like it's going to go pretty far, but it's not, especially if you have a lot of media to back up. So I currently have 100 on mine, and I'm already using my 20, and I haven't even backed up everything just yet. So that's just one of the suggestions from me. Like I said, I'm going to come over here to advanced install so I can specify what I want. So I'm just going to come over here and keep most of the recommended, and now over here in disk size is where I'm going to adjust this. Other than that, I'm going to keep everything the same, and I'm just going to run through this really quickly. If you don't need more than 20 gigs, of course you can feel free to keep it the standard, and if you want, you could always up it later. I'm going to finish this up really quick, and we'll be right back. As you can see, I'm over here, I'm installing the container really quick. So once this is all done, we'll be right back. During the install process, you might get this prompt over here to install OpenVINO dependencies for Intel Hardware Accelerated Machine Learning. This is totally up to you if you're interested in it and if you have the hardware. For now, I'm going to say no. I don't really care if I have the machine learning or not. It's going to be more for identifying the pictures and mapping them and stuff like that. For me, I'm more interested in just having backup capabilities, so that's more what I'm going to focus on. So I just said no. And now we're going to continue on with this install. And after a little bit, the install will finally finish, and you can see it will give you a URL to access the page. So we can just go over to here, and then we're going to get the welcome page on Immich. So we'll click getting started. Now over here is where you're going to give it some information to log in to set up. This would be for your actual account as well as the admin account. So you can just fill in this information, and then we'll just click sign up. So now I can sign in, and now we'll be brought to this welcome screen, and now we'll go through some of the initial prompts for setup. So we'll click on theme, and I'm going to give it dark mode. If you prefer light, you can keep it that way. Here we're going to set our language. Here's our server privacy. So Immich does map out your pictures as well, so it can pull from the metadata, and in the app it'll give you a graphical map, and it'll show you where all your pictures are. This is similar to how iCloud and I bet other providers do it. If you don't want this, you could just uncheck it here, as well as a version check off of the GitHub to make sure it's up to date. Here is user privacy, so there is Google Cast, so you can, I guess, cast this to a Google Cast capable device if you're interested. I'm going to keep this off because I don't think I have any of those devices. Now over here is going to be storage template. Pretty much this will just mean that Immich is going to work to auto optimize your storage and your pictures and stuff like that. So I'm just going to enable this. So you can see it's just going to kind of use a renaming scheme and stuff like that. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but I'm going to keep it that way. Now we're going to go to backups. They're just going through the idea of the 3-2-1 backup idea to make sure that you do have proper updates. Don't solely rely on Immich for all your data. Another good option could be actually backing up the Immich container, whether it's going to be to your Proxmox backup server or somewhere else, or even maybe having like a USB drive, or if you have a NAS, save images there as well. Just in case something fails, at least you have multiple copies. Here's the mention of the app if you're looking to get it either way. And that's really it. It's Immich. So over here now we're on our dashboard. And I'm going to upload a couple of test pictures that I have just to show some data in here. I don't have anything too crazy on this new computer. I got a new computer about a couple months ago that I built out, and I still don't have a ton of pictures on here. I don't really have much on here to start. But here's a couple of screenshots I have. So here's something from one of my Proxmox servers I was working on. And then here is something from some download utility that I use. So we can come over here to explore and map and stuff like that. So as the data starts to kind of get read more, it'll start to map out the pictures. Over here we have favorites. It's just like any other utility. We have albums, and then over here we can come over to some utilities, so we can kind of manage the library a little bit more, so you can actually review for duplicates. And if there are duplicates, it'll work to remove those. We can look at larger files, so we can see if we need to hold on to these or not. Then there's also an archive if you're interested. You can have a secure folder, so if you have something that only you want to see, you could do so there. And then we have our recycle bin. If you are planning on using the Immich app, it's really simple. You would just download the app, and then you would come over to access the server through your IP and port. If you're using something like Nginx Proxy Manager, that would work just as well, and you could access it through a domain, or if you have some other domain utility in your house or wherever your network is, that will work just as well to access it through there. That's how I do it. So I just have like image.barmine, and I can access it through there. For the most part, that's really everything about Immich. And then if we just come over to the right over here, we have administration. So this is where we can kind of just check on our users. We just have some of the jobs over here for generating thumbnails, extracting metadata, stuff like that. We have settings over here. So if you do find that you need to change anything, you could do so in here. If you have external libraries, you can do that over here. So this could be where you might want to add a library to something on your computer or maybe another location, and you could just put a path over here and it'll start to pull in from there. We have our server stats. If you're ever interested in seeing how your server's performing, you could do so over here. But for the most part, that's everything we're going to do for Immich. Other than using the app to back up your media from maybe your tablet or your phone or any of the other devices that have the app running on it, we can use Immich over here to do so. I wanted to see if it remapped, but it didn't just yet. But it will eventually, and when it has the metadata to do so, it will start to populate out the server and fill in more of these options over here. Like I said, I've been using Immich for a while. I'm currently using it to have a backup of all my photos and try to have an alternative to using iCloud for all my storage. And that's why I really like Immich. It really populates well, and it will work really simply. It wasn't a complex setup, and you can see it just works. It's a straightforward UI. It's a little easier to understand, and that's what I really do like about Immich. So that was how we can set up our own cloud storage for our media, whether we need to save off our phone or another resource somewhere else and use Immich to do so. It's just another alternative for a self-hosted option, and it's a way we can get some of that services back to running locally and have full control over it. I want to thank you all for watching. Again, I want to thank Brilliant for sponsoring today's video, and if you are interested, go check out the link in the description and you can see about trying Brilliant out for yourself. As always, I'll have links to all the gear in my home lab down below if you're ever interested in checking any of it out. I'll have a link to the Discord server if you want to join up and chat in there. And again, I want to thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and as my buddy Dom would say, hack till it hurts.